Hey everyone! Today, we're going to recap the movie Charm City Kings from 2020. Let's dive in, shall we? Here we go. Stro was a young guy who loved motorcycles, but everything changed when he was murdered at just 17. His younger brother, Mosi, who just turned 14, stayed. Mosi is really into motorcycles and dreams of being as respected as Stro, but for now, he's only got a quadricycle. The neighborhood was buzzing with police around, but Mosi kept trying to get by with little races and riskier choices. Then one day, Detective Rivers showed up and asked to talk to him. Rivers already knew Stro, Mosi's older brother, giving the boy a shot to fix what he couldn't with the other. He started giving him advice whenever he had the chance, trying to point out that there was another way. In the car, he asked Mosi to sit up front with him, but the boy, still wary, responded flatly that this was the spot for the X9, making it clear he wasn't ready to trust the policeman. Rivers leaves Mosi at home, but things aren't easy there either. His mom is upset because he left without saying anything. Mosi has to study, work half a period after school, and take care of his little sister too. One day, my friend showed up with some exciting news. There's a new girl in the neighborhood, and her name is Nikki. Mosi has to leave his sister at home, but first, he needs to pay her off. Otherwise, she'll spill everything to their mom. Mosi and his buddies, Izuchi and Limon, head over to Nikki's place. The mission was simple: impress the new neighbor. Everyone tried to stand out in their own way. Izuchi came forward as an organ donor and mentioned he could give her his heart. Nikki chuckled, enjoying the silly effort, and even snapped a photo of the group. She was excited about the visit and agreed to go out with them to watch the famous gang show at night, which took care of the streets. But the adventure didn't last long. Nikki's grandmother spotted the teenagers on the lawn and tried to send them away without any hard feelings. Meanwhile, Mosi is at the veterinary clinic where he works. He loves taking care of animals and even helps with a cat's birth. His mother finds out that there will be motorcycle crashes that night and tells her daughter to watch over her brother to keep him safe. However, Chow agrees to stay quiet for some cash, so Mosi pays her sister and heads off to the crash. He stashes his bike in the backyard, and when he gets there, he spots the bikers climbing and pulling off some daring moves. Mosi is eager to prove he can ride too, but as soon as he tries some tricks, it all goes sideways, and he takes a spill right away. Nikki captures the whole moment in a photo. Even after the crash, Mosi just won't quit. He keeps going after Nikki whenever he gets the chance. That's when midnight hits, and the city's most notorious biker gang rolls in. Among them is Blacks, a legendary racer fresh out of prison. The street is buzzing with a party vibe, but before long, the police show up. The midnight crew gears up, loading their guns and fanning out. Jamal, the bravest of the bunch, takes aim at a car and shatters a glass brick, kicking off the chaos. The chase through the streets is wild. The bikers zip through alleys and leap over fences, moving way too fast. Eventually, the police throw in the towel. There's just no way to catch these guys. Mosi is super intrigued. He really wants to join the gang. Mosi talks his friends into staying out until midnight. When they get there, the pilot Quinn jokes about them, saying if they want to join the gang, they should ditch the toys and get real motorcycles. Still, Jamal decides to give Mosi a shot, but he can't even start the quadricycle. Everyone ends up laughing and leaving Mosi feeling embarrassed next to his ride. So, then there's Blacks. He works in an office and was friends with Stro, who is Mosi's oldest brother. Black sees potential in the boy and decides to help him out. He takes Mosi to the workshop, shows him some bikes, and finally reveals one that's in pieces. It's an amazing bike. Blacks makes a proposal. If Mosi can restore it, the bike will be his since he can't afford 8,000 reis for a new one. Mosi says he'll bring his friends to help out, and the three of them start cleaning and taking things apart. He notices that Black's dog is walking a bit weird. Eventually, the friends lose interest and leave, but Mosi sticks around, determined to prove he can do it alone. Even with everything going on, he doesn't forget about Nick. One day, he gifts her a kitten in exchange for her phone number, but her grandma has already taken the phone and calls from inside the house. "Goodbye," says Nick, before giving Mosi a quick kiss on the cheek. Meanwhile, Jamal is still caught up in risky stuff and asks Blacks to find an order, but Black says no. He's trying to turn his life around and wants nothing to do with that anymore. Mosi tells his mom he's always at the veterinary clinic, but really, He just goes there to get medicine and help with Black's dog's hurt legs. Black's gives Mosi some real talk. Choose your friends wisely. Your brother's death was partly because he didn't. Meanwhile, Mosi's friends aren't being much help. They just want to have fun. Mosi feels frustrated and alone in the workshop, like he's shouldering everything by himself. But he gets it. It's summer, and who wants to work in the heat when others are out enjoying themselves or making quick cash like drug dealers? Rivers shows up and makes Mosi get in the car. He tells him that he needs to take work seriously. Even if he's not making much now, this experience could lead to a better job down the line. Black's wraps up putting together a stunning new motorcycle that's ready for delivery. Since Mosi has earned his trust, Black's hands the task over to him, but with one catch. He wants Mosi to take it easy with the bike. Mosi, however, isn't one to back down. On his journey, he stops to show off the new motorcycle to his friends. So, Mosi heads over to Nikki's place and offers her a ride. He thinks swapping spit is cool, but Nikki's not ready for that. Then Derek shows up, an older guy claiming to be Mosi's brother's friend. He asks for a quick ride on the motorcycle, just to the corner. Mosi hesitates, but eventually agrees. Derek takes off, goes down the street, and doesn't come back. A minute goes by, then two, and Mosi figures out he's been played, and Zurich knows Derek. He says the guy's been stealing motorcycles and selling parts, so Mosi is in big trouble. The friends decide to head to Derek's workshop to confront him and get the motorcycle back, but when they get there, the bike is gone. Derek musters up some courage and tells everyone to leave. Lamont gets mad and confronts him, and in response, Derek puts a gun to his head. Just when things seem to spiral out of control, the Midnight Gang shows up, and Black steps up to face Derek. He doesn't need to do much, but just being there makes the thief act. Jamal and the others want to hit to make a point, but Lamont jumps in first, grabbing a brick and smashing it against Derek's head. He starts kicking him in a rage, looking like he might really hurt him. Jamal steps in and takes the brick away before it escalates. After seeing Lamont lose it earlier, Jamal appreciates the boys' fire and suggests they team up. At home, Mosi hears his mom crying in the kitchen. She just found out he quit his job at the vet clinic a month ago. At the table, bills are piling up, and she can't pay them all. Blax notices Mosi has changed and decides to let him return to fixing motorcycles. But now Mosi has a new goal: money. So he chooses to accept the Midnight Gang's invitation, even though he knows Blax is against it. But there's another issue to deal with. Detective Rivers keeps trying to give the boy some advice, but he just won't listen. Swarty hops on the bandwagon too, just to add to the crew. So here's the plan. Jamal sends out orders via a dating app to throw the police off. They've got 20 minutes to grab a package from a spot in the city, toss it in a backpack, and then take it to another address. After that, each delivery person gets another backpack that they need to hand right over to Jamal. Only then is the payment released. As part of the job, each boy gets a motorcycle, and finally, their dream comes true. Mosi starts ignoring Nick's calls, saying he doesn't want distractions. Now he has a career, and other girls are approaching him. He feels like he's living another phase. The sale of Zdroginha starts messing with Mosi's head, and later, his mother finds a hideout where he's saving money. She already lost a child to the gang, then lost another. She couldn't take it anymore, so without a second thought, she kicked her son out in the middle of the night. Detective Rivers shows up at Black's office, wanting to chat about Mosi. He describes him as a good kid who got mixed up with the wrong crowd. Rivers recalls that Estro, Mosi's brother, was the same way and ended up dead in a police shootout, with nearly a kilo of illegal substances found on him that night. Blax thinks being a drug dealer is better than being a cop. He criticizes Rivers for choosing that path. Meanwhile, Mosi is with Sweetie, who's growing up without a mom. They chat about leaving the illegal delivery life behind and getting their own bikes. Then, Lamont suggests a risky plan. Rob the store where they used to buy candy as kids, but they'll need a gun for that. They ask for one for the oldest, and Jamal delivers just that. Only one for the three. Blax tries to convince Jamal to leave Mosi out of it, but Jamal stands firm, recalling that it was Blackster himself who taught him everything about the crime. Noticing that he's losing control, Blackster decides to have a serious talk with Mosi, but the boy strays from the topic. He starts chatting about the dog, worried something's off. Mosi takes the pup to the vet, where they find out surgery is needed. But since the dog is pretty old, he might not make it through. The vets suggest euthanasia, and Blacks agrees, saying he wants Mosi to handle it. After saying goodbye to the dog, Blacks spills the truth. He was the one who sent Mosi's brother on that last job that ended badly. He feels guilty and tries to look out for Mosi to make up for it. Still, Mosi sticks to the robbery plan, convinced that no one will have to shoot. But Lamont, getting more reckless, grabs the gun. It's time for the heist, and the three load their weapons and head into the store. Mr. King spots the invaders and dashes to the phone. Mosi and Zwitter attempt to make a run for it, but Lamont fires at the ceiling to intimidate them. Mrs. King, reacting quickly, fires her weapon for real, hitting Zwitter. He collapses to the ground, bleeding and motionless. Mosi and Lamont take off in opposite directions, throwing the police off their trail. Mosi rushes to the workshop and says, "My fat friend just died." Blacks gets anxious and insists that guys like him rarely get a second chance, so Mosi has to promise he'll change. The police show up, and Mosi is trying to scrub the blood off his hands. Blacks throws his arms up and claims he's the one who robbed the store. River knows that's not true, but he goes along with it, putting the handcuffs on Blacks and taking him to jail. Then, he drives Mosi home and tells him not to blow his chance. On TV, the news reports a young 13-year-old thief was shot dead. Mosi's mother is praying desperately, fearing she lost another child. Then, Mosi walks in, hugs his mother, and cries. A year passes, and Mosi is back at the veterinary clinic. He finally finds the courage to apologize to Nick and stays away from bad influences. Unfortunately, Lamont isn't as lucky. He's caught up in crime and now flaunts a gold chain. Jamal sends another message, telling Lamont to make another delivery. Mosi rushes home to where his mother and sister are waiting for him. The story teaches us how easy it is to get lost when you're looking for respect in the wrong way. Even with talent and good intentions, without support and the right choices, things can go south fast. But there's always a chance, no matter how small, to turn things around.